Now, here's your host, DJ Host with the most.
If only I had spidey senses, so I can tell when something's wrong. Oh, and I'm set to protect this heart from breaking into pieces. Where's my hammer? Where's the shield? Oh, the strength to carry the weight of the world. Fly high into the sky. I'll catch you if you fall. I'll catch you if you fall. Fly high into the sky. I'll catch you if you fall. I'll catch you if you fall.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of Snap Decisions. And yes, it's a miracle. It's coming out when it's supposed to, on a Tuesday. I mean, that's just insane. But welcome, and, I don't plan these things to be sometimes as big as they are, but this is going to be a jam-packed episode today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, we had the Deadpool's Diner revamp that I'm going to talk about in the Spin. We also have now, because of today being a patch day, which I kind of forgot about, we have the Datamines for what looks to be a Spiderverse series that have come out today. So we're going to go over them a little bit. I'm not going to rank them or anything. I'm just going to kind of read them, and going to do that in the Spin as well. The Spin's going to be big today. And then on top of all that, we had a card rework. And it is KANG. KANG finally has been reworked, redone, reshuffled, whatever you want to call it. He is, and everybody's playing it. Everybody's playing it. I've played 5 matches on ladder, and I played KANG all 5 times. So everybody is playing this card. Apparently a lot of people love this card and are playing it. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it. When I get to that point as well, probably also be done in the Spin. So just a lot of stuff to talk about today. But first, before I do, I am, number one, going to start my restart. I've been talking about this for weeks of the YouTube page. Well, it is tomorrow. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have Nerf Herder on the show. I'm recording it for the time being. Now, there may be a time when I do it live, but for right now, I'm going to record it. So Nerf Herder and I are going to get together around 6 o'clock. Nerf Herder is on Twitter. He does his own videos on Marvel Snap, has been for quite a long time. He's been on my show way back when. So he and I are going to catch up, and we're going to do it very similarly to the format that I do it now. We're going to talk about Snap stuff. We've got a lot to talk about it with just the stuff I just mentioned already. So we'll talk all about that with him. I'll kind of catch up with him, find out what he thinks of the game today as it is. And we'll get into other things on the show as well that I talk about with other guests. Marvel stuff, comics, movies, that kind of thing. I'm sure will probably make its way into the discussion. But please make sure you check that video out. It will be out tomorrow, probably I'd say around maybe 7:30 p.m., maybe 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll also be available on audio for those of you who listen to the show on audio. We'll be out in that format also, so pretty excited about getting that started back up again. So please go and head over to my YouTube channel and kindly hit that subscribe button. And obviously, if you watch the video tomorrow, I'd really appreciate a like on the video. I also did find out that I was doing some giveaways and stuff like that for my YouTube channel in the past, season passes and whatnot, gold passes. I did find out that apparently, and I thought that was going to be an issue for people, but apparently you can do that again. So I might be going back to some giveaway stuff, especially for like the lyric challenge and things like that. And I might do a little YouTube incentive as well. So just a lot of stuff going on. Of course, we have Hammond out today. So we'll talk about him in the comics corner, along with what books and stuff I'm reading this week, which there's a lot of really cool books that came out this week too. Then, of course, we will talk about my week in Snap, where I am there, what I did throughout the course of the week, variants and all that kind of stuff. But there's a new album out today. So I already got, I think, like 3 of those variants. One that's not even in the shop yet that I got from that. So we'll talk all about that. And, of course, Comics Corner. Then we got the MCU Minute, which has a lot of news. We've got pictures of Robert Downey's Doom, which I'll tell you what my thoughts are about that. We got an announcement today. Well, not really an announcement. We got a comment from Charlie Cox, who, of course, plays Daredevil, that has led to some speculation about Daredevil Season 2 and what it could be or what it could mean for the future of that show. So for those of you who watched it, and I don't know, not a lot of people did, not as many people as they thought would, but you might want to stay tuned for that, because I'll talk about that in there. And then, of course, at the end of the show, we will have the Dazzlers Guess the Lyric Challenge on there as well. So the lyric this week was gotten, again, pretty quickly. And it was gotten by a person over on Blue Sky. That is Voltron Pilot over on Blue Sky. He got last week's as well. So that's they got it as well. I really don't know anything about the person other than the name over there. So congrats for picking that up. And of course it was Detroit Rock City by my favorite rock band of all time, and that is, of course, Kiss, who I've been a fan of since I was probably about 7 years old or so. Back in 1976, 77 was when I first started listening to them, and I've been hooked ever since, been a fan ever since, been collecting all that. I have all their albums, all their CDs, all the vinyl, all the cassettes. Well, I don't have the cassettes anymore, but I did have all the cassettes as well. So I am a big, big Kiss nerd. I've seen them in concert many times, and yeah. There you go. So congrats to the person who guessed the lyric. But that said, we'll get this out of the way too. I am of course, a proud and honored member of the Snap Judgments League of Podcasts, which include, of course, the Snap Judgments podcast with Glazer and, of course, Roy and his guests that he has on there. Always really fun to listen to the guests that he has talk about Marvel Snap. And that comes out usually at the end of the week, Friday, Saturday, in and around that time. Glazer gets that out there. And then also Snap on This with Lauren Whatevs, it's just and Ben Roller are the hosts of that show. Always so much fun to listen to. They have a lot of fun on that show. A lot of different topics they cover on there. I know Ree was talking about her gaming retreat, which sounds like a lot of fun. And they were talking about K-pop Demon Hunters, which was one of the challenges they had for their secret homework. So lots of fun stuff on that show. And I'm sure they'll be checking out the Datamines I know Lauren shared them today, for the Spiderverse series that we're getting in November, which looks like it's going to be very exciting for people who are Spider-Man fans. And I mean, who isn't? I'm sure you probably are if you're playing Marvel Snap. He's such a big part of the Marvel universe. So yeah, make sure you give a listen to all of those podcasts. And I'll mention the other member of that as well. That is Kier Nimbus. And I know Kier is taking some time off from the game. But, and that's another thing I'll talk about too, is the devs notes for the patch. There is a returning players incentive that they just put in the game. So maybe talking about that too. So a lot of you people who have left, maybe are still listening to my pod, which I thank you for. I don't know why you would do that, but I kind of thank you if you are. But a lot of people who have come out on Twitter and said to me that they're not playing the game anymore, or they haven't played in a while, now might be the time to come back, because I will talk about the incentive reward as well in just a second when I go over the patch notes from today, which is exactly where we're going to start. The DJ Spin for today is with the patch notes. Now, again, remember, you gotta update your game. If not, you're going to have the old KANG. Now, I don't know. Maybe you might like the old KANG and you might not want to update your game forever. But in any case, if you want the new KANG, you have got to update your game today. The other note is there is a free variant today that, and I have to give props to Interrobang for posting this, because I wouldn't have known about it. But there is a brand new variant that it was given away on their shop today by entering a code, and I shared it. It is code, if you're listening and you haven't heard about this, HHM 2025. So capital H, capital H, capital M 2025 in the web shop, and you get an exclusive death variant, which kind of looks like a Death Day variant. So it's kind of cool, like the celebration that they have in New Orleans and stuff like that. It's a very cool looking variant. So head over to the shop, throw that code in, get your free 100 credits, because they have that there every day. The web shop I'm talking about. And you can get this cool new death variant as well. So like I said, kudos or shout out to Interrobang for shouting that out. So, all right, we are going to get into it. We're going to read over these patch notes that we got from today. Of course, we got a new card today as well. Jim Hammond came out today also. I opened up the Series 5 pack to get it, and it was pretty much just... now all you're getting really from that is boosters. There was a time when you used to get credits in there as well. Well, that is probably long gone. That is not happening anymore. But you're just getting boosters for the card, and then you're getting more random boosters, but no more credits. I was wondering... And I talked about this with you guys the last couple of weeks about how my credits have been dropping. Well, that's part of the reason, too, is because I'm not getting credits in those chests anymore, which kind of sucks. And especially now, they also did announce, and that's in the patch notes as well, that you're now going to be able to buy borders with credits. So they are, now look, we asked for that, right? We as a community from Snap have asked for that they do more things with credits. Well, they are, but now the problem might turn into that you're going to run low on credits, especially if you're buying a lot of, if you're buying Series 5 packs and things like that, you're going to run low on credits very quickly. So, all right, so this is the patch notes that came out. Now, obviously, the patch is including Deadpool's Diner, because that starts on the 18th, which is 2 days from today. And the notes on that are everybody's favorite Merc with a Mouth has been cooking up something special this time. And the diner will be opening back up with a store, a few updated game rules, and for the first time ever, game mode specific locations. Look for more updates and Valley of the Baby Hand in the near future. Valley of the Baby Hand. Okay. Snap Pack's card list sorting. Now when you tap on View Cards in Seasonal Spotlight, Collector's Pack, or featured set Snap Packs, you'll have sorting and filtering capabilities to help you find the card you're looking for. That's cool. And then I just mentioned borders for tokens instead of gold. Going forward, all borders available for purchase in the cosmetic shop and in a card's custom card shop will be priced in tokens instead of gold. We have also added some existing borders that were previously unavailable for purchase in either shop to their rotation. Here's a list of available borders as well as their old and new prices. Black Cosmic is now 1,000 tokens. Rainbow Cosmic the same. Blue Cosmic, Red Cosmic, Green Cosmic, and Pink Cosmic, and Orange and Gold are all 750 gold. So they're still gold. Blue Neon is 400 gold. Red Neon is 400 gold. Green Neon is 400 gold. Purple Neon is 400 gold. Then it is Yellow Neon, White Neon is 750 gold. Copper Metallic is 400 gold. Silver Metallic is 750 gold. Gold Metallic is 750 gold. I'm sorry. Never mind. That was all previous prices. The new prices are all tokens. So the Black Cosmic, Rainbow Cosmic are 1,000. Blue Cosmic, Red Cosmic, Green Cosmic, Pink Cosmic, Orange Cosmic are all 550 tokens. Gold Cosmic as well is 550. Blue Neon, Red Neon, Green Neon, Purple Neon, White, Yellow Neon, and White Neon are all, well, they're different prices. They're 300 up to now the Yellow Neon and White Neon, which are 550 tokens. Copper Metallic is 300 tokens. Silver Metallic is 550. Gold Metallic is 550. The Blue Distressed, which is new, Red Distressed, which is new, are both 300 tokens. New Black Matte and Red Matte are 550 tokens. And then new Red Web and new Black Web are 300 and 550 respectively. So that's all your prices for the borders. Now, here is the win back, what they're calling the win back experience. So this is for those of you that are no longer or have stopped playing the game. We know that one of the biggest challenges for players returning to Marvel Snap is catching up on card acquisition. The following combination of features are meant to try and help returning players kickstart the acquisition of new cards. With this patch release, we're releasing a new set of features for players returning to Snap after having been away for a while. A welcome back calendar. We built a new login calendar that features 28 days of rewards. In addition to variants, cosmetics, and currencies, players will get new random cards from varying series on days 1, 7, 14, 21, and 28. The calendar will be live for 35 days from a player's first session back. So if they miss a couple days, they will still have the opportunity to earn everything on the calendar. Bonus Challenge. Bonus Challenge is a bonus set of challenges that live on top of the weekly challenge. Completing daily missions, play one-cost cards, will advance both the weekly challenge and bonus challenge reward milestones. Players will have 30 days to complete the bonus challenge and does not reset weekly like the weekly challenge. The bonus challenge is completed when the player completes 50 missions. Bonus challenge rewards includes variants, other cosmetics, currencies, and snap packs. Season Pass discount. Returning players will see a 25% discount on the purchase of either the Season Pass Super Premium, and the upgrade from the Season Pass to the Season Pass Super Premium. If you come back to Snap too close to the end of the current season, less than 10 days, the discount will follow you into the next season. The discount is good for one purchase of either the Season Pass and the upgrade to the Season Pass Super Premium or the Season Pass Super Premium. So that's kind of cool. Exclusive bundles. 3 exclusive bundles for returning players will be available in the shop. All feature great deals on Snap Packs, which are making their debut in bundles. We hope players returning to Snap find these features helpful and fun, and please let us know your thoughts on how to make a return to Snap even better. So there you go. So, I mean, that's that's a first. That's something people have been asking for quite a while, for a long time. People that have gone away from the game, that have missed out on a lot of cards. Well, now there is a welcome back thing. So that's it's kind of cool. Now the card update. KANG old 5-0 on reveal. Look at what your opponent did and then restart the turn without this. New, he is a 3-4. Game start. Replace this with 4 KANGs with text from random cards that cost 3 or more. KANG has been something of a sore spot for all of us for a while now. He's Series 5, a really unique card from the Big Bad era, and an exciting character in canon. He also tests the limits of our game engine, creates ongoing bug stress, and wasn't as fun as we would have liked to trade for those issues. Plus, he turned out to be fairly weak, without great balance styles. Thus, we decided to take the rare full rework approach. We tried a lot of KANGs over time. We wanted to take our time and find one that was resonant and fun, and since we didn't have a metagame pressure requiring us to cook as quickly as possible. Eventually, we settled on this design that leans into a different aspect of KANG's narrative, his multiversal presence, having many different manifestations across timelines. We hope you enjoy playing with this card as much as we have. KANG's VFX were updated to match his new ability. Captain Marvel's VFX was also updated. Then bug fixes. See if there's anything like mentionable here. Oh, Kate Bishop was fixed. Yay! Cards can be played properly after Kate Bishop's grapple arrow has been played. Was fixed with a server hotfix, but we made additional client changes to this as well. Miles Morales not creating a one-cost copy after moving a card and playing him on the cloning VATS location has been resolved. Issues with Herbie being activated and then being unable to open in focused view during gameplay has been resolved. Handful with message from Moira X should no longer appear for her opponent when the player's hand is full. And then we just have some art fixes, Invisible Woman, Lockjaw, Giganto, card shop fixes, other fixes, tapping on the avatar button should now redirect you to your active cosmetics, and some other little things I'll let you read because that stuff's kind of boring. But there you go. So in any case, that is the patch notes for today. So I guess the big news out of that is really the KANG fix that came with it. And then, of course, what comes with every patch is going to be data mines. So because of that, now we knew we had something Spider-Man on its way. We certainly do. We have what looks to be a Spiderverse series. So we have some very much requested cards in this upcoming series and some text on what they do. First one is Spider-Punk. He is a 3/2. You can move this once. When this moves to a location, steal 0 power from the highest power enemy there. Now that's going to be changed, obviously, but these are early iterations of the card, so it's not going to be 0 power. It's going to be some sort of number that's going to go there. So Spider-Punk is now in the game. This one I know a lot of people have wanted for a while, the Superior Spider-Man. So that, of course, is Dr. Octopus's version of Spider-Man. As the Superior Spider-Man returns, it says down at the bottom of the card. It's a 3/4. End of turn. If you have a card with increased power in play, you get +0 energy next turn. So if you have a buffed card, this is going to be for buff decks. Yay. I hate buff decks. But this is end of turn. It's an end of turn ability too. If you have a card with increased power in play, you get +0 energy to. Now again, the 0 will be adjusted. These aren't fully adjusted or anything yet, but the zeros will be adjusted. We have Man Spider. Man Spider is the one who looks like an actual spider and wears a spider costume. He's a 5/1. On reveal, merge the last card you played into this. When this merges, double its power. So it's like a symbiote Spider-Man. Pretty much, yeah. Merge the last card you played into this. So it's like symbiote. Double its power. So yeah, very much like symbiote Spider-Man. Again, we'll see if these get changed. We have the card Web Sling. Now, this is going to be for that other game mode. The name escapes me. The one where they had the different bosses or the different main cards. It had Maximum Carnage in it. You guys know what I'm talking about. But this is a 1/0. So this is probably one of the spells that the avatars will have. So 1/0 on reveal. Next turn, you can move one of your cards away from here. So it's going to be move centric season of that game mode. Then we have Ezekiel Sims. Ezekiel Sims, very big part of the Spider-Verse lore. And of course, he was in that god-awful Madam Web movie. He's a 2/2. After you play a card with higher power here, give this plus, again, not telling you what it, +0 power, and move this to another location. So it's a move card. And again, these zeros are all going to be changed. Then we have Spider-Man Noir, which is the series for that, which is going to be debuting on Amazon with Nicolas Cage playing the character, is coming out, I believe, kind of soon. So I don't know when exactly that is. I'll have to check in a little bit. But I thought I remember them saying next year. But again, another very popular character in the comics. He is a 4/4. On reveal, if your other cards in play cost exactly 0 total, again, we don't have these numbers, add the top card of your deck here. Set its power to 0. So they're not all filled in. These are just early. It's why, like I said, I'm not going to rank them or anything because the next patch we get will probably when this will all be filled in. But as of right now, we just have the text. We don't have the numbers on the text and stuff like that yet. So Spider-Man Noir. We have Hydro Man. Hydro Man is a 5/8. You remember him he was in Spider-Man 2. Of course, Mysterio conjured him up as one of his illusions. He's been a staple in comic books for a long time. Sometimes villain, sometimes hero to Spider-Man. But he's a 5/8. On reveal, set the cost of each deck's top card to 0, to something. So the cost of their top card. So it's kind of like, oh man, what would that be compared to? You're changing Mordo, Baron Mordo. You're changing the cost of their top card. So Baron Mordo. Then we have Chameleon. Again, another long-time Spider-Man villain, was in the lousy Lizard movie, or not Lizard, the Craven movie, but been very, very famous character in Spider-Man comics for a long time, dating way back to the 60s. We don't know his stats, and his wording just says, on reveal, copy the text of another card you revealed here this turn, which makes sense because he does duplicate other things. So that makes perfect sense as to what he is. Then we have another ability card. I think this is going to be 1-0. This is called Deafening Chord, and it's, of course, Spider-Punk is playing the guitar. On reveal, afflict an enemy character here that costs 0 or less with -0 power and remove its text. So you're hitting it with a negative, and then you're removing its text. So that's another one of those spell cards. And then we also have Prowler, and of course we're getting Prowler because he's so prevalent in the Spider-Verse animated series. On reveal, add 0 Thief's Tools to your hand. Set their cost to 0 if a card moved last turn. Now, we don't know what the Thief's Tools are, but this could be like a Kate Bishop kind of a card. So there you go. That is the Datamines and the previews for the Spider-Man upcoming Spider-Verse set that's going to be coming out. What looks like in November of this year. So that, I would imagine that could be something that might bring some people back to the game. Since the fact is that a lot of people really love Spider-Man. Of course, he's a beloved character, and a lot of people really, really like that character. So I would imagine that maybe, if there's people that have stopped playing the game, that maybe they will indeed come out and play it again, possibly when this occurs. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. But if you were thinking about it, again, you have that incentive now to do that, to return to the game. So. All right, I'm going to look up and see really quick if there's anything further about any of these cards that were datamined. Now, we have a lot of variants and stuff that were datamined as well that are coming out. I know there's a new one for Galactus First Steps. All right, let's look at these. The September, so this is the September patch. And we've got the November season. We've got the November season here, and it shows the season pass. So, they do have a picture of it. So, it looks like Spider-Punk is the season pass card. We're getting a Spider-Punk card back, which looks kind of cool. It looks like the animated ones from PAX East. So it's kind of cool looking card back. Ghost Spider variant we're getting in there. And we're also getting a regular, we're getting a Man Spider variant and a Silk variant in the season pass. So that's all shown here. The October stuff we already know about. That is, of course, the Marvel Zombies stuff. So let's take a look. Now, there is actually even more here. Oh, this is the December stuff. So this is going to be some sort of X-Men season. We've got Weapon X Wolverine. We've got Weapon H. We got Wade Wilson. Oh, this could all just be Weapon X. This could be a Weapon X season. Wade Wilson, who we, of course, know Deadpool was Weapon X. Marrow, Maverick, Fastball Special, Phantom X. Chamber, Adamantium Infusion, and Aurora. So yeah, this is a Weapon X series that we're getting in December. So a lot of X-Men fans will be happy for that. No dialogue at all with any of those. They're just shown as to what they are. Now this one has some other stuff. This has Taskmaster Thunderbolts. Now this is on reveal, set this card's power equal to the total power of Thunderbolts you played last turn. So we might be getting an upcoming Thunderbolt season as well. Yeah, look at this. We've got Sentry Thunderbolts. On reveal, added -9 power void to a random location without a friendly thunderbolt. Wow, so okay, we're getting something to do with the thunderbolts. Also, we got a Gamora Guardians of the Galaxy. On reveal, if your opponent played a card here, destroy their lowest cost card here. Wow, okay, so I haven't seen any of this yet. Man Spider's text is here. On reveal, merge the last card you played into this. Yeah, we talked about that. That's like Symbiote Spider-Man. We got Drax Guardians of the Galaxy, so it looks like we're getting something with the Guardians as well. On reveal, if your opponent played a card here this turn, double this card's power for Drax. Groot, discard an on-Guardians card from your hand unless your opponent played a card here this turn. Maybe this is a mini-game or something too. I'm not quite sure. Ghost from the Thunderbolts costs 1 less for each location you're losing. Spider-Man Noir, reveal if your other cards in play cost exactly 8 total, add the top card of your deck here, set its power to 8. Okay. Superior Spider-Man, if you have a card with increased power in play, you get +1 energy next turn. Prowler, on reveal, add 2 Thieves Tools to your hand. Set their cards to 0 if it moved last turn. Chameleon, copy the text of another card you revealed here this turn. Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy. On reveal, if your opponent played a card here this turn, give friendly Guardians +1 power. Toxie Doxie Thunderbolts. On reveal, give 2 characters in your hand +2 power. You can't play them next. So that's the same as it was. Valentina Thunderbolts. On reveal, add a Thunderbolt to your hand. Give it -1 cost. Winter Soldier Thunderbolts. You can only play this at a location you're losing. Rocket Raccoon Guardians of the Galaxy. If your opponent played a card here this turn, draw a Guardians card. This sounds like it could be like some kind of mini game with the Guardians, maybe. Mantis Guardians of the Galaxy. If your opponent played a card here this turn, give a Guardian in your hand -2 cost. Okay, now this is Web Sling. I read that. Next turn you can move one of your cards away from here. This is for that other mode that we're probably going to get back. Vibro Shock Gauntlets. Give your highest power card here +2 power. You get plus energy next turn. So this is what your avatars are going to be able to do. Remote Mines. Afflict the 2 highest power enemy cards here with -2 power. We have a Flight Harness. On reveal, give your highest power card here +1 power and move it to the right. We have Deafening Chord. I read that one earlier. Let me see if there's anything else here. And then we just go to variants. So they had a little bit less on their that's a cool Hydro Man variant, cool Hell Cow. I'm just kind of taking a gander at the variants. Lockjaw variant. Yeah, they had a little bit less. Now this is from Snap Zone. But they had a little bit less than Untapped did. Untapped also has Datamines. And they had so they had a little bit less than because I went to November here. Yeah, they actually had the pictures and stuff like that. So this is where I got Spider-Punk, Superior Spider-Man, Man Spider, Web Sling, Noir, Ezekiel Sims, Hydro Man, Chameleon. Prowler's card art is unavailable, and the Thief Tools thing. And then they do have Weapon X Wolverine. They have the Chamber, and they have Adamantium Infusion on theirs as well. So, yeah, it looks like we're getting a Weapon X season. So that's pretty exciting. We're getting a Spider-Man Spiderverse season, looks like in November. And then something in December that could be, or looks like it's going to be a Weapon X season. And then maybe even into January, where we may be getting a redone Guardians of the Galaxy series or something along those lines. So that's just a quick peek into all of that. And then, so I had something else to go over in the spin. Let me just see. Oh yeah, we're gonna go over the notes about the Deadpool's diner, but I'm also gonna talk a little bit about KANG. So, no, I'll get into that when I get into my weekend snap, because that technically counts. I played it earlier today. So yeah, so let's go over the Deadpool's diner notes that the devs put out. And we'll talk about the diner. Now, I have never liked Deadpool's diner. I've never been a fan from the first one on. I didn't like how they did the gambling part of it. I didn't like how you can lose down that. Well, all of that supposedly is now gone, done away with. They are not doing any of that anymore. You can't lose them anymore, but they have now changed it where it's going to include a shop instead of the ladder that you climb on there. As I take a little drink here, sorry. But they have indeed changed it. So, see where I can find the notes for this. Is it in the... Nope, it's not in there. I might have to actually go on their website for the news for this, I think. Yeah, let me go to, sorry guys, I'm going to go to the Marvel Snap website for this. Yeah, I'm going to go to the Snap website. This new freaking iOS is driving me crazy. If any of you have not have downloaded yet, it's so intricate. Like normally you just read the patch notes and you're good, but like this one has so much stuff. So much stuff. Okay, so there's the patch notes. There's the balance experiment notes. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to read this from my Twitter. I don't know that this might just have been put in the Discord. But I did share it on Twitter, luckily. So this might have been put in the Discord. Yeah, okay. So here's so Deadpool's Diner is back from September 18th to the 25th at server reset, and this time the menu is stacked with player-friendly upgrades. We've taken the pressure off so you can focus on the fun. Now you only ever risk what you raise, with no more auto-doubling on turns 5 and 6. Stakes are truly on the diner. Your opponent's snaps raise only their side. Your snaps raise only yours, so you can still hit sizzling payouts by snapping up to 3 times. Or keep it cool with 1 or 2. You'll always see when your opponent raises, giving you the intel to decide whether to push or play it safe. Plus, with fewer tables, losing at the top won't send you tumbling down to the bottom, making for a smoother climb. Win or lose, your matches fuel progress on plate missions, which can be completed by snapping. Plate missions will earn you nachos, which is the currency for the new shop. The plate missions will also refresh automatically as you complete them. It's big stakes without the big flameouts and a much tastier path to victory. Win matches, complete missions, progress on the maximum effort reward track, and take all of your nachos to the shop, where you'll be able to cash in on new rewards like the new Red Fire borders, Gold Chain borders, and the new Series 4 card Danger. So, it does seem like they've adjusted it. Now, no one's going to really know what this is going to be like until they get a chance to play it. I'm sure that Lauren Whatevs or someone else will come up with the math on it to find out how many missions and stuff like that we are going to have to complete in order to get the new Danger card, which I'm sure everybody is going to be playing for the most part. Cosmetics are nice, but most people play for that new card. So we'll have to see. It does sound like they did major changes like they said they did to it. So if it is changed for the better, then I'm all for it, because again, this was my worst new game mode. I have not liked this mode, so I'm hoping that it's going to turn out to be more fun than it has been in the past. So yeah, I hope that it's going to be better, and we'll find out in just a couple of days. So, all right, so that is the DJ Spin, and we're going to go to the request line now, and we're going to go to and like I said, request line. I am going to now that I can do it, I am going to every now and then start offering a gold pass. for the question of the week from a listener, because it's been kind of slowed down to a crawl. I'm not really getting a lot, and that's cool. Like I said, I'll do the Twitter polls and stuff like that, and I'll still get, remarks on those, which is fine. But just as a little extra incentive to get some questions in. And again, I appreciate all of the participation, so I would love to hear from you. So please send me some questions that you might like to talk about, whether it be Marvel Snap the game, whether it be, maybe you heard something on the YouTube channel that you want to discuss, whether it be talking about movies and MCU stuff, whether it be talking about video games or any of that kind of thing, or anything else. Hit me up with those questions, and of course they will always be included in the request line section of the show. So I did ask some questions today of some players, and I think it might have been out before today. And if you haven't heard yet, and I don't know, you probably haven't been playing Snap very much, or you haven't heard the OTA that we just got, that I did an OTA review on a couple of days back, the 1001 OTA, is more than likely looking like it's temporary. They did come out and say, to an answer to a question on the Discord that said, while we don't actively intend to keep any of these changes, we're opening to seeing what the data says. So more than likely, this was just like KM mentioned, an imbalance patch, and it will all be changed back or revert back to what it was. But they are open to suggestions from you as far as whether or not you might like some of these cards better the way that they are. So these tech cards and stuff like that. But in any case, they will be reverted. It looks like they will be indeed reverted back. Let's see. Now I thought I had. Oh yeah, I had the question about the diner. I said, "Are you excited about Deadpool's diner with these updates and adjustments?" So here's what we got as far as responses. Got a good amount. My comic book collection says, "We will see, but traditionally diner is my least favorite limited time game mode." And then they wrote, "I don't think I have it in me to grind for danger." Yeah, it's always going to be about that, right? Like, if the card is good, you're going to want to grind for it if you think you're going to play it. Those of us that are collection complete are always going to grind for the card. But in other cases, you're going to probably make the determination of how the game plays and whether you want to spend your time doing that and grinding for a card that you may not care about. And the card is always going to be available in snap packs at some point. Probably won't be for a month or maybe like 3 weeks later, but it will be in snap packs. So that's why the mode is going to matter. So comic book collection, thank you for the response. And I responded back. I said, yeah, I haven't really liked it much myself, meaning the diner. I'll see how it goes. I can always just open a snap pack for it when it becomes available. Claire on Twitter, Clairomancer, says, when the rewards they want to highlight outside of the new card are just 2 kinds of borders. Yeah, it's just for danger and nothing else of value, but that's all right. Hopefully the grind won't be soul crushing. It sounds interesting. Zodrex, Marvel Snap, diner is my favorite mode. I know I'm in the minority with that. Getting those big win payouts or devastating losses made it exciting. A lot of people just don't know how to play it and manage their bubs. It's too bad as these changes take away from what I loved about it. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure there are people out there who did enjoy it. I know people that might be like gamblers, poker players and stuff like that might have liked the all or nothing kind of thing. And you know, there was a learning curve with it. You did have to kind of learn how to play it properly in order to, you play at the lower tables until it is kind of a lot like poker. You don't start right at the $1,000 table. You kind of start at like the lower tables, kind of try to win a little bit there, and then you kind of work your way up to the bigger high roller tables. So I think that's kind of what they designed it like. So I can see the point of Zodrex there. And then there probably are going to be people that are out there that did enjoy it and did like it. So in that case, they may not like it as much. Jermaine McBounds. No, not really. I'm hoping for something more long-term, something to fully replace Conquest. Yeah, I'd love them to replace Conquest. And for whatever reason, I spent a ton of time playing Conquest this week. I played so much, I already got the Rhino card. Like, I played a ton of Conquest. I don't know why. I get in mood sometimes to just not play for anything serious. And I get off ladder, and I just end up playing a lot of Conquest, and I did. And yeah, you're so right about Conquest is awful. Like, literally terrible. Like, I'm playing people that are on there that are level 2,000, 3,000 collection level, and bless their hearts, they're playing what they can with the cards that they own. But it is just all the same decks. Destroy, so much Destroy, so much RSM. That's it's really all it is. And or discard now. A lot of people are playing Victoria Hand on there, which I just can't fathom. Like, especially in Proving Grounds. Like, really, I just can't fathom that. Yeah, I've told you that sob story many, many times. But I would agree with these comments. Herschel. Honestly, I really like, emphasis on really, the high stakes. It made each decision from deck building to snapping to retreating more interesting. That being said, taking away auto snaps was good and would have been enough. Okay, fair enough. B on Twitter says, nope, quit the game last season and I do not miss it. Well, B, for you, especially if you're listening to my pod, sorry to hear you left, but, you may want to, listen, I totally understand it. People get burned out of games. They get frustrated. And if that's the case and that's what happened to you, then by all means, stay away. But if you're ever thinking about coming back, they do have that incentive now to come back. So there you go. So that's could be a possibility for you at some point if you ever want to return. Zibana says, nah, not excited. For Skywalker, FER, says, I like this new Deadpool's Diner. And then SHPLIG Shiplig, I'm still playing because I have nowhere else to go, but been hard to get excited about anything Snap. Yeah, look, this post got 6.2 thousand views. So thank you to those who responded and who viewed it. Like I said, and I'm just going to tell you all this. If you're still listening to me, I super appreciate it. Super can't even express how much I do, especially if you've left the game. That means a whole hell of a lot to me. I may actually ask that out there on the Twitterverse and ask if there are any of you that still do listen to the pod. And if you actually do, please comment. I would love to know. I would love to know some reasons why. I really would, because that would make it much easier for me. That if the game ever does come to an end somewhere down the line, I can decide how my content is going to go. So I really appreciate that. If you are still listening to my show and you're getting excitement out of it, even though you're maybe not playing the game anymore, I would love to hear from you, whether it be on X or whether it be in the comments of the podcast itself. Please reach out. I really would love to hear that from you. And I may put a post up on Twitter about that, because that would really help me out tremendously in figuring out what I would do on the show going forward if Snap ever didn't exist. So I would really love to hear from you. So for all of you that responded and you're not playing anymore, thank you even for responding, because obviously if you're not playing the game, why the hell would you respond to a Snap related post? You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't. And the fact that you guys took the minute or two to respond, I really, I'm taken aback by that. Thank you so much for doing that, because you certainly didn't have to. So, all right. So that is all the answers to that question that I had. And that is the request line for the week. And like I said, if you have anything at all you would like to ask me, talk about, whatever, have me talk about on the show, doesn't have to necessarily be a question. It could be just a subject you want me to discuss on the show at some point. I could do it in the request line if you had that out there. So yeah, please let me know, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on my Discord, Snap Judgments League Discord in the section that I have on there, whether it be in the comments of the podcast themselves or over on the YouTube page, where you can certainly leave me comments. I would really, really greatly appreciate that. Okay, so we're going into some Snap talk, and we're going to look back at the game itself for the course of this week. And I've already kind of told you, I've been playing a crap ton of Conquest. I go in there when I'm trying to test some new decks, and I've started to, I was telling you all I was playing that Hella Redshift deck. Well, it started getting to the point where it's losing a lot. It's losing more than it's winning. And I'm really not interested in going to like the Denise one that has Odin and Gambit. I don't think I'm smart enough to play that one, being honest. So I kind of shied away from the Hella deck and thought, well, all right, I got to find a new ladder deck. And that's what I do when I go to Conquest. Because again, there's no stakes, so who cares? If you lose, you lose. And most of the time, I'll just take the deck in and play some Proving Grounds. Maybe I'll take it to a silver ticket or a gold ticket and just play in there a little bit. But it's just experiment, and it just also kind of teaches me how to play the deck. Well, I did find a new deck that I'm liking, and I've now played it on ladder. I actually played it on ladder for the first time last night. I won a couple games, and then I played it on ladder today. 3 straight games against 3 straight KANG players. KANG Surfer, KANG Wiccan, and KANG, I don't know what the heck they were doing. Oh, KANG Arshem. So I played 3 KANG players, and I beat every one of them with this deck. And I got to give all credit where it's due to KM Best, because KM Best shared this deck on his Best Decks stream, and I got the deck off of there. So let me just get into that, and we'll talk about this particular deck. This is a Wiccan list, and a very, very, very good one. It has Galactus First Steps in it, so of course I'm loving that already. But this is, of course, a run-of-the-mill Wiccan list, but it has some very cool additions to it. And I had it played against me, and it is pretty darn strong. Like I said, I beat a Surfer list with it. I beat some other decks with it as well. This is very good. This is Quicksilver, Domino, Speed, Mobius M. Mobius, which is very good in the meta right now. It's one of the only tech cards that's still out there. And this has actually 3 of the tech cards that are still out there. So this has tech in it. Mobius is one. Copycat. Copycat has won me games. Copycat's a snap condition. And I think that's why good players like Safety Blade love this card, because it is truly a snap condition. I played a Surfer list. Guess what Copycat copied? The Surfer. I knew they weren't getting it. Snap immediately. Immediate snap. They can put out all they want. They're not going to outpower me more than likely in this deck in particular. And so I'm snapping if I see that card. I also had a Hella player play me. And guess what was on the bottom of their deck? Hella. Probably aren't getting it unless you have a blink and you get very lucky getting to that, like with a magic on board or something, or an extra turn. Because otherwise you ain't getting it. Snapped. I won again. So Copycat is a great card to get, because you get that intel about what your opponent probably isn't going to get. And if that's a card that they need to win, you snap immediately when you get it. Silver Surfer First Steps. So this card, obviously end of turn, if you're winning this location with an on reveal card, copy its text. So you get to on reveal twice with a lot of these cards. And the next card in the list, I thought this was bizarre, because I've never seen this card in any other deck besides the one it's normally in, and that's Surtur. And I've seen people playing me with this deck, and they have the card Ares. Now you can play Ares out, and again, most of the time, because of the cards at the end of this deck, you have Galactus First Steps, which is a pretty big, going to be, on your opening lane. If you get Galactus in your hand early enough and you get that Domino down, you're more than likely going to be gaining power to that Galactus pretty easily. And then you can always stick the Speed down on turn 3, and then you're off to the races. So, and then you play that Ares, maybe over in that lane to close that lane out. And again, you're going to have a big card in your hand in Galactus. You're also going to have a Magneto, which is also in this deck. So you're going to have 2 big cards that could possibly still be in your deck, which will allow your Ares to probably win that matchup, unless you're playing like a Surtur deck or like a big dudes deck list. But you're probably going to win that. And then Silver Surfer, if it's played in that same row, can just win you a lane, because that's going to make that Ares go off again. So that's just a lane winner. I think I like this deck because I love playing with priority. I really do. When I lose games, it's because I get freaked out because I have no priority in the game. And that's what causes me to be a bad snapper as well. I like playing ramp decks. I told you guys this. I love playing ramp decks. This kind of is a ramp deck now because you are getting that number 1 and number 2 card automatically. You know what you're playing. You're playing Quicksilver, you're playing Domino, right? So now you know what you're playing. You have enough 3s in here. You have 4 of them. That more than likely you're not going to get screwed with the Wiccan. So you're going to get one of those 4 cards more than likely, in your hand that you're going to be able to play. And then right away, if you have the Wiccan, and sometimes you won't get it, but if you have it, you're going to get that down in turn 4. I like decks like this. It's very linear. You're going to many, many times be having priority in the game, which I also enjoy doing. And then also in this list, after the Ares is Wiccan, then you're going to have Cosmic Ghost Rider. Cosmic Ghost Rider, which is also, I played against that Surfer KANG list. They had, I'm trying to think, Captain Carter was on the top, was on the top of the row, and I forget which other card I wiped out. Might have been Silver Surfer First Steps, I think, but I wiped both of those cards out with the Cosmic Ghost Rider, and that won me the game. Lady Deathstrike is in here, also another piece of tech. Now that's a card that you can use against people that are just playing small cards against you, maybe like a bounce list, maybe an early Human Torch, like move decks and things like that, but you're going to have that in here as well. You're going to have Galactus First Steps, which, like I said, is going to get pretty large, and you also are going to have a Magneto in there as well, and if you have the Wiccan out, you're going to be able to play all of these cards, and many times Magneto was just a game winner, because I had people filling their lanes to try to catch me on my Quicksilver Domino lane, and because of that, then I was able to just Magneto all of their cards over at the end of the game, and I would still end up winning the other 2 lanes, even if I'd lose the Magneto lane. So this has been a very good deck. I'm really enjoying it, and this is the one I'm going to stick with, I think, on ladder and see if I'm going to climb. I already climbed 2 more spots today, as a matter of fact, because I was completely stuck. I went all the way down to 82, 81 from where I was last week, which I told you I think I was at 83 going to 84. And then I got back up to 83 and I stopped again. But now, already playing this deck, I'm up to 85 and 5. So just a couple more, I'll be at 86. So I don't know. I'm really enjoying this list. And I'm enjoying the climb with it so far. So let me see if there's anything else I played. Now, I did play this one for missions, and I am not a Surfer player whatsoever. I am not good at the deck. But I played this for the missions with Viv Vision. And this is what I just put Viv Vision in, and this is the deck it gave me in the auto deck maker. So this is America Chavez, Surge, Okoye, Brood, Captain Carter, Human Torch First Step, Silver Surfer, Viv Vision, Mr. Fantastic First Step, Sebastian Shaw, Gwenpool, and Galacta. Pretty much run-of-the-mill Surfer list. I won a good amount, enough to do the mission for Viv Vision, who I just don't think is a really good card. This is also from KM Best's the best decks list. This is a Nightmare deck. So you got Sauron, Zero, Ebony Maw, Surge, Iron Patriot, Merlin, Lizard, Nightmare, Fastos, Starbrand, Enchantress, and Red Skull. So you don't have as much of the big stuff in a normal Sauron deck that you normally would, but you have a lot of good small cards that can just be changed with the Nightmare, which, Ebony Maw obviously can be changed. Merlin's going to allow you to get rid of some of these smaller cards and pull out maybe better ones. Starbrand, of course, you can end up zeroing, or you can end up Sauroning him. Enchantress is in here, and the same with Red Skull. So this was an interesting one. I wasn't really sure that not having the amount of, and Fastos is actually pretty good in here too. So this is just a lot of good small cards, and quite a different style deck there, instead of just all the big dumb idiots in the deck. So quite a different style to it, and I liked it. We have now. This is the other Hella. This is kind of similar to Denisha's list, because this runs Redshift and Agatha, but it also has Gambit, Corvus Glaive, Jubilee, Ghost Rider, Legion is in this, as was in a lot of Denisha's. Blink, Enchantress is in this. Odin, Hela, and then the Infinite are all in this particular Hela deck. This is one that Dexter played on his channel. This is a Namora list. This has Agony, Lasher, Jeff. This is Frankie Ray, Ironheart, Wong, Scarlet Spider, Symbiote Spider-Man, Black Panther, Namora, Arnim Zola, and Odin. This is a good one to play during this time when the tech is gone, because you have very little chance of getting shanged when you're playing these huge Black Panther lists. And if you get the Black Panther Zola, you're just going to win. Now, what I did see when he was playing it is now he plays very high infinite ladder. He's like in the hundreds. So most of his opponents would just quit. If he got the Black Panther and doubled it, most of them would just leave. So he wasn't really winning a lot of cubes. He would only get one cube or so. So this, I would imagine, if it pops off, is pretty good, because you do have a lot of different conditions to win. You can win with the Wong lane and do Wong, Ironheart. You can have a Jeff and an Agony or a Lasher, the Agony / Lasher in the other lanes and just make them really big. And then play like the Symbiote down. And play Black Panther on that and just Namora everything. So you have a bunch of different ways you could go. You don't necessarily have to do the Namora stuff, but you could do the Wong Namora. You could do just a whole bunch of stuff with the list. So there's just a whole bunch of different ways you can go with it. And then let's see if there's anything else. Zoo is back again. Zoo is back. Still, I don't think it's all that good, but it avoids the Killmonger, and that was the biggest thing with it. If somebody was playing you with a Killmonger, and Killmonger is pretty prevalent, especially in Surfer lists and things, if somebody plays you with a Killmonger, you're just wiped out. You're just dead. And Destroy plays Killmonger as well. So without Killmonger being able to destroy your entire board, it is back again a little bit. And it, again, very easy deck to play. Ant-Man, Nebula, Squirrel Girl, Black Cat, Surge, Dazzler, Marvel Boy, Shauna, Khazar, Blue Marvel, Gilgamesh, and Mockingbird. So your run-of-the-mill zoo list, but look, it just does get a lot of power. And, maybe you're a lower collection level and you're looking for something to play. That might not be a bad one to try. Then we've got the end of turn list is, again, still out there. I think I read this to you guys last week, but this one is Sunspot, Squirrel Girl, Hydra Bob, Black Cat, Thena, Bruce Banner, Havoc, Marvel Boy, Prodigy, Invisible Woman, Juggernaut, and Thing First Steps. So that's the end of turn list. All right, so that is the decks. I did tell you guys I did get the Rhino thing in Conquest. I do already have it, the Rhino card with him missing a tooth. I have 9 gold tickets now built up from all the Conquest that I played. And I got the card. I got all the other stuff. I got the emotional core disengaged title. I got the Infinity ticket, the Rhino boosters. And then next week, there's a premium mystery variant in there, which I may try to get that too, because a lot of these new variants that came out for the new album today, which I'll go into in a second, are 700 gold variants, which is kind of nice. An Infinity ticket, the Rhino avatar, and then the rest of it is just all boosters. So, all right, let's go to look at the variants. And the first thing we're going to do is look at that new album, and it's called Believe It or Not. This is an artist one, and of course it is Alex Maleev, who has done all the artwork on these cards. I already have 5 of them. And again, they're all 700 gold variants, so I was able to get the Daredevil, the Elektra, Magneto, Mirage, Jessica Jones, and Thor. Now, the Mirage one's not even in the shop yet, but I was able to get that. I opened up one of my caches, and I got it there. So that's not even in the shop yet. But some of these are really cool looking. I like the Spider-Man. I like the Typhoid Mary. That's how she looks in the comics currently. The Silver Surfer looks like Dr. Manhattan. He's blue for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if he was ever blue in the comics. That could be. I don't know. I haven't read a lot of Silver Surfer. I am reading a Silver Surfer comic actually right now. A new one that just came out. But I have not read Silver Surfer in comics very much, so I don't know. But he is blue colored. There's a Namor, which is very cool looking. Dr. Doom holding a sword. Moon Knight, the Magneto using his magnet powers. The Jessica Jones one was out for a while. So he did that one a long time ago, and it is my favorite Jessica Jones variant. The Mirage is kind of cool. She's holding a katana. We got Thor. Thor has so many variants. This one's cool, kind of holding the hammer up. It's the old version of Thor with the yellow dots on the chest. But it does look like the one that's in comics right now. And then the Typhoid Mary, I absolutely love. I think that's amazing. I might have to get the Typhoid Mary because I really like that. And I want a new one. I don't have a lot of variants of her. And then if you wander over to the shop, or to your shop, you will see all of the you will see how those variants are in your shop. Now, I do have the Jim Hammond Human Torch variant for $20, which there's no way I'm paying that for that. Arcane Genesis, $50 for an Agamotto bundle with 3,000 gold and 4,000 credits. Token Tuesday, still crap. But yeah, so a lot of these variants are in my shop. Now, the Typhoid's not. She'll probably be in tomorrow, but I may buy that just simply because I need a good one, and I don't really have any good Typhoid Mary variants. But the Spider-Man's in my shop. The Moon Knight's in there. The Namor is in there. He'd look cool with a water border or water effects because he's underwater in it. But yeah, the Silver Surfer is blue. The Daredevil one's kind of cool. Has him like crouching and you can see all his rippled abs and stuff like that. The Elektra I got as well, which is kind of neat. She's kind of jumping in the air. And yeah, so they are all in my shop right now. And I'm sure everybody might have some different ones that they might have in there also. But yeah, so there you go. All right, let me take a look at the variants and the cards that I got over the course of the week. So as I told you, I have the Magneto, the Daredevil, the Mirage, and the Elektra, all from that new album. And then, of course, I got the Death one that I gave all you guys the code for way back at the beginning. So if you skip through, go back and get yourself the code, and you can go to the shop and get yourself a free variant. I got the Rhino variant. The Death one, by the way. And there goes the weekly iPad crash. Yes. Yes. I got the weekly iPad crash, baby. Let's go. It's never a proper podcast unless I get the iPad crash. And there it is. The iPad has crashed on Marvel Snap. What a complete and utter surprise. I never would have thought that would ever happen on one of my podcasts. I never, ever saw that coming. It just crashed and, unbelievable. I'm going to take a drink of my, I'm drinking a treat, I think as we call it here. This is a Pennsylvania thing. We have a soda called A Treat Soda in PA. And I've had this since I was a little kid. They used to bottle it in glass bottles back in the day. My dad used to go and get us glass bottled soda. When you take the bottles back when you're done, you get some money back. But I like their, this is made with the good old NutraSweet, man. None of the new chemically infused sweeteners. This is good old NutraSweet, which I'm probably is bad for you too. Sure. But yeah, and I'm drinking birch beer. I do like birch beer. Boy, is this taking a ton of time to reload. I do like birch beer. I've always liked birch beer ever since I was a kid. Tell me if you like, you know what? My first question to you all for this week, since I have time while the iPad resets, and you can answer me this wherever you want, on the comments, on Twitter, wherever. Because you all, I'm sure, at one point in time have drank soda. It's not good for you. I understand that. The diet is not either. Fools your body into thinking you're getting sugar when you're not. And soda is very bad for me. It caused me to gain a lot of my weight back in the day before I had the surgery. I will never drink any sugar-infused soda, but I do drink diet from time to time still. Tell me what your favorite flavor of soda is. I have some weird ones. I love birch beer. I like both brown birch and white birch. And they even used to have red birch. I love them all. In fact, when I was a kid and we'd go to picnics and stuff like that, my dad used to go to outings or picnics or whatever. The adults used to get like a barrel of beer, and they'd also get a barrel of birch beer for the kids. Well, they were both golden. So if you wanted to be sneaky, and when I got a little bit older, 13, 14 years old, I'd sneak like a half a cup of beer with the birch beer, and you couldn't tell. Nobody could tell that you had it. But I also like a soda called Cherokee Red, which is red, is cherry flavored soda. Oh God. And then one of the bottlers that used to bottle in glass bottles up this way, it wasn't A Treat, it was a different one, but they used to make one called Cherry Smash. Oh man, it was so good. And another unique one that I liked was a company called Slice that used to make a competitor to Sprite back in the day, and they made a lemon lime soda. And the company also made a apple soda, which was amazing, so good. So there's some of my favorite. But I mean, good old cola. I just like cola. I'm a fan of cola flavor. I love cola flavored candy and stuff like that too. So what is your favorite soda? Because the iPad's back up. Let me know. Let me know if you have a favorite soda, if you drink soda at all, and what's your favorite soda. I know a lot of people probably just say is just plain old Coca-Cola or Cherry Coke or plain old Pepsi, whatever, and that's perfectly fine. But yeah, let me know. Okay, so variants. I was just going to pull up who did the artwork on the Dia de los Muertos variant. So that is the Day of Death variant. So that's cool. I wonder, it doesn't say though who did it. Oh yes, Mroka. So there you go. It's a very cool looking variant. And then of course Alex Maleev did all the other ones. The Rhino is done by Moon Colony. And then I was able to get the Pandart Studio Death variant last week. And I got a new Havoc, AJ Nazaro's Havoc variant, which is cool. And I think that might be it. Yeah, the other ones I told you guys about last week. So there you go. So that's the variants for the week. That's what I've been doing in Marvel Snap and what I've been playing and all that good stuff. So there you go. That is my look back at my week in Snap. So I'm Snap Talk, my week in the game. All right, we're gonna move on over. Tell me what song that is. Move it on over, rock it on over, roll over Beethoven. Yep. No, that's not it. Bonus points if you could tell me what who sang that one. All right. So we're gonna go to Comics Corner. We're gonna talk about Jim Hammond's Human Torch. Jim Hammond's Human Torch. So let's go over to there, and we will talk some Jim Hammond in Marvel and his origins and all that good stuff. So Jim Hammond of Earth 616, of course, the Human Torch. His quote here is a quote. Professor Horton said it was an accident that I burst into flame, but what if he knew? What if he intended this? He already knew what you were doing. My creator, Phineas Horton, was Jewish. You burned them. You did this. You would claim to be masters of the world. This is why I am the way I am. Let this be a taste of eternity, so you will know hell when you get there. Wow. Damn. All right. Jim Hammond is his name, illegally changed from the Human Torch. His current alias is Human Torch. Affiliations, his marital status is single. He is 6'3". He weighs 300 pounds. Irises are blue and hair is blonde. His origin and living status. He is alive and formerly deceased. Earth 616. He is from Brooklyn, New York City. He was killed by Iron God and revived by Iron God. His identity is public. He is American. He's an adventurer, a war veteran, former police officer, and CEO of Oracle, Inc. Education, no formal education, capacity for creative intelligence, and unlimited self-motivated activity. His base of operations is Revalis. His creator is Carl Burgos. And wait till you hear this. Marvel Comics number one. Number one, guys. 1939. August of 1939, he is the first superhero of the Marvel Universe. So, yeah, how about that one, huh? The very first superhero of the Marvel Universe created in 1939. Unreal. Wow. Crazy, man. Crazy. One of the first superheroes of the Marvel Universe, the history spanning over 70 years of publications. Below is an abridged version of his history. For an abridged accounting of his history, see Human Torch's Android expanded history. So that I'm not going to go over all this because we'll be here forever. But I got to go through this because this is mind-blowing to me. 1939. That is 30 years before I was born, which is insane. Original Human Torch began its existence in 1939 in the laboratory of Professor Phineas T. Horton, one of the pioneers in the field of artificial intelligence and robotics. Imagine that they're talking about this kind of stuff in the 1930s. That's mind-blowing to me. The culmination of Horton's research was an android who mimicked virtually all the functions of a human being, including independent thought, but was composed entirely of synthetic materials. How much of a Carl Burgos, how much of a forward thinker was this person, was this man? It's incredible. In 1939. And he's thinking about stuff that we are talking about today in our society as becoming real. This is mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing to me. This is why I tell you guys to read comics. Because, look at the ideas that you guys in this generation are just starting to see. Artificial intelligence and things like that is now becoming possible in all these years later from this man writing about it in a comic book. The magic of comics is just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. The one flaw in the android's design concerned the photoelectric solar cells called Horton cells, which covered every square inch of his body and served as his power source. The cells were too volatile, and they caused the epidermis of the android to burst into flame upon contact with air, but without harming the android itself. Horton revealed the torch's existence to the public at a press conference in November of 1939, at which he demonstrated how the torch would burst into flame if he introduced a small amount of oxygen into the transparent container in which he was confined. The news media proclaimed the torch to be a potential menace, and so after a presidential order, Horton buried the android in a supposedly airtight tube with cement until such time as he could find a way either to prevent the android from bursting into flame or learn how to control his flame. Or its flame. There was a slow leak in the tube, however, and eventually enough oxygen entered so that the android's flame ignited explosively, permitting him to escape. I just lost my place. Okay. Wreaking havoc in the innocent exploration of his environment, the android, inaccurately dubbed the Human Torch, soon realized the panic he was causing and, unable to control his flaming power, doused his flame in a swimming pool. In his infancy, the Human Torch was duped by a crook named Anthony Sardo into committing crimes. Realizing he was doing what was wrong, what he was doing was wrong, the Torch confronted Sardo and fought against him. During the flight, the torch was doused in nitrogen, which proved to be the catalyst that allowed him to control his flame from that point on. In attempting to bring Sardo to justice, the criminal was killed in battle when Horton suggested that the two use his powers to obtain fame and fortune. The torch rejected this idea, leaving Horton's home a flaming inferno which seemingly killed the scientist, but Horton would resurface later alive and well. In the year 1940, the Human Torch began earning a reputation for himself as a champion of justice. He had a number of solo adventures, including a clash with Martians, mad scientist Dr. Maniac, and others. He gained an early ally in a police officer named Pete Johnson and began using the name Jim Hammond as an alias. The Torch soon decided to take up a job as a New York police officer. After a number of assignments, the Torch became lonely and sought out Professor Horton and asked for his advice. Horton told him of Fred Raymond, an asbestos expert, and his wife Nora. Both were terminally ill and raising their son Thomas Toro Raymond. When visiting the Raymond home to learn what Horton was alluding to, the Torch found that Raymond's being terrorized by the criminal known as Asbestos Lady. The Torch fought off Asbestos Lady and her minions, noticing that Toro had slept through the entire battle. The Raymonds told him how their son was apparently immune to fire. After meeting the Raymonds, the Torch soon left, vowing to keep a secret eye on them in case Asbestos Lady threatened them again. The villain names were quite, this was old, right? And so the villains they came up with, Asbestos Lady, soon after his induction into the police force, the Human Torch had the first of many clashes with the Atlantean mutant known as the Submariner. Their battle raged across New York City, and eventually the Submariner gained the upper hand when trapping the Torch in an airtight container. Ultimately, the Submariner was convinced to let the Torch go and leave by policewoman Betty Dean. The Torch soon began to question what it was like to be human and sought out his creator. Finding an old photograph in the ruins of the place of his birth, the Torch visited a former colleague of his father, Fred Raymond, and decided to visit the family again. By this time, Fred was distraught over the fact that his wife Nora was deathly ill and his son Thomas had gained mysterious flame powers. Somehow thinking the Torch was to blame, Raymond ordered the Torch to leave his home. The Torch soon found himself working with an unlikely ally, the Submariner, to stop an invasion of Imperial Japanese forces who were attempting to dig a tunnel to Alaska. The alliance proved to be short-lived as the Submariner soon attacked New York City again, but was brought down by the Human Torch and Captain America. Hearing a radio report about the death of Toro's parents in a train wreck, the Torch suspected it to be the work of Asbestos Lady and rushed to Toro's aid after hearing he was adopted by a local circus owner. On the way, the Torch was confronted by Asbestos Lady and her minions, who managed to douse the flame and toss him into a tanker filled with water. Despite being trapped in water, the Torch was able to flame on part of his body to create enough heat for the steamed water to burst open the tanker. Asbestos Lady and her men attempted to escape but were captured by the Torch and turned over to the police. Toro, the Human Torch, soon was reintroduced to Thomas Raymond, who was working at Pop Circus as Toro the Flaming Boy. When the circus strongman Samson stole a rayon gun, the Torch and Toro teamed up to return it. Taking in Toro as his ward, the Torch was teaching him how to use his powers. The Human Torch and Toro faced off against many such enemies as the Brain, Blackjack the Hag, Dr. Smart, and arsonist Hawk Rivers. By this time, Toro had allied himself with members of James Buchanan, Bucky Barnes' Sentinels of Liberty fan club to form the Young Allies. The Torch often worked alongside Captain America to assist the Young Allies and get them out of trouble. The Invaders. In 1941, in December 7th, American authorities learned of a joint attack on American soil by Imperial Japanese Navy, subversive Atlantean, and Nazi forces. One of these attacks was on Pearl Harbor, and the Human Torch and Toro were sent on this mission to help turn back the invasion. It was a day that would stand in American history as the aftermath would end, with the United States officially entering World War II. So horrified by the senseless destruction caused by the Japanese forces, the Human Torch and Toro fought back in the days following the attack on Pearl Harbor, attacking Japan directly, slaying Japanese Admiral No Dope in the process. Returning to the United States on December 22nd, 1941, the Human Torch and Toro were assigned in secret as part of the security for Dr. Anderson, one of the men involved in Operation Rebirth, the experiment that created Captain America. When Anderson was captured by Nazi spies, he was forced to use his knowledge to empower their agent, Master Man. Tracking Anderson to the secret Nazi lab, the two heroes were too late to stop the creation of Master Man. The super-strong Nazi easily bested the two heroes, and the Nazis fled after shooting Dr. Anderson. Rushing Anderson to a hospital, the Torch and Toro soon met with Captain America and Bucky. Discovering that the Nazis were plotting to attack a ship carrying British Prime Minister Winston Churchill to the United States, they rushed to the scene. There, with the assistance of the Submariner, the heroes had stopped the Nazis, and when Master Man's powers failed, captured the villain and turned him over to the authorities. After his rescue, Winston Churchill suggested the group band together, suggesting they call themselves the Invaders. In the aftermath of the battle, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt officially sanctioned the group. With the Invaders, the Torch clashed with foes such as Brain Drain, U-Man, Basil Frankenstein's creation. When the Invaders were captured by the Red Skull and brainwashed using null arrays, Bucky formed the Liberty Legion to counter his friends, eventually freeing them from the Skull's control. Returning to England with the Invaders, the Torch clashed with Baron Blood and fell in love with Jacqueline Falsworth. He eventually rescued her from Baron Blood, but she did not seem to see his feelings for her. Following Baron Blood's destruction, she required medical attention. Jacqueline was rushed to a military hospital where a blood transfusion from the Torch empowered Jacqueline, and she joined the group as Spitfire. The Invaders then clashed with the Face, but were rescued by Goldstein, who managed to transform himself into Gollum of the Jewish lore and the Crusaders. Soon after the Crusaders incident, the Invaders were given a headquarters in England within Big Ben. Torch, Captain America, and the Submariner were then given a mission to capture 3 Nazi agents, the Hyena, the Shark, and Agent Axis. The Torch was dispatched to... There went my... Oh, that's weird. Okay. Hold on. Got a pop up there that just went and ruined everything. Okay, Big Ben. The Torch was dispatched to capture the hyena, but when he was captured by the villain who extracted some of the Torch's blood to use to empower Nazi agents. Before the hyena could eliminate the hero, he was teleported away by the cosmic being known as the Grandmaster. Finding himself transported to Nazi-occupied France with Captain America and Submariner, the three heroes were used in a cosmic competition between the Grandmaster and the future warlord KANG, and pitted against three of the modern-era Avengers, Yellow Jacket, Black Panther, and the Vision. The Avengers easily defeated the three wartime heroes thanks to Vision's phasing powers. As the Avengers attempted to explain to the three invaders what was happening, they were whisked back to their own time. The Grandmaster then returned the invaders back to where the three foes had met and easily defeated them. The Torch recovered his stolen blood, and his memories of his battle against the Avengers soon faded. Now, post-World War II, though the original Captain America and his sidekick Bucky were seemingly killed in action, secret replacements for them served alongside the Torch and the rest of the invaders in the All-Winners Squad during the post-war years. In 1949, the American criminal called the Crime Boss, seeking to destroy the Torch, obtained a chemical known as Solution XR from the Russians. He sprayed the solution over Torch and Toro, dousing their flame and paralyzing them. Criminals then buried the Torch beneath the Nevada desert. However, they had accidentally chosen to bury him beneath the future atomic testing site. Well, that's not smart. The 1950s, in the late 30s, a blast of an atomic bomb dropped on the site freed the Torch, and the radiation reactivated his flame. The Torch resumed his crime-fighting career and partnership with Toro, but in late 1955, the Torch sensed that radiation from the bomb was causing him to lose control of his flame, and that he would be dangerous to others. After bidding farewell to Toro, the Toro burned his way underground of the southwest desert to deactivate. The modern age. Immortus. Following the defeat and deactivation of the original Torch, his corpse was split into two chronal duplicates by the time traveler Immortus. First duplicate was discovered by the criminal genius called the Mad Thinker, who had become one of Earth's leading experts on robotics and androids. Using his knowledge of androids, the Thinker restored most of the Torch's original synthetic tissue and nervous system. Thinker partially restored the android's memories, but coerced the Torch into facing off against the Thinker's enemies, the Fantastic Four, which team counted a new Human Torch among their number. On realizing the implications of what the Thinker wanted him to do, the Torch sacrificed his artificial life to save the Fantastic Four from a sneak attack by the Thinker's computer Quasimodo. The Thinker fled, and the Fantastic Four left the Torch's body in the Thinker's laboratory in Nevada. The other duplicate was recovered by the anti-human robot known as Ultron, who sought to use the Torch as a vessel of revenge against his own creator, Henry Pym, and the superhero group known as the Avengers. This recreation of the Human Torch became known as the Vision, and he ultimately became a longtime member of the Avengers. Avengers West Coast. The Mad Thinker buried the Torch in a nondescript grave. The hero team Avengers West Coast revived the Human Torch when in the course of investigating the Vision's origin, they invited the revived Torch to join their team, and he gratefully accepted. However, he served for only a short time before taking a personal leave of absence, during which time he lost his powers to save the life of his aged comrade, Lady Crichton. He then semi-retired from adventuring and served as head of security for Oral Inc. Hammond later returned to join the Avengers West Coast branch as a reserve member and served alongside the team on a couple of adventures. He was also in Heroes for Hire with Iron Fist and Luke Cage for a little bit. Returned also as the New Invaders, taking the young android Tara under his wing. He was in Dead Again, Third Resurrection, again exhumed by the Mad Thinker. Joined the Secret Avengers, the All-New Invaders, Squadron Supreme, World War Namor was something he was in, Books of Korvac. All right, so that's mostly all the books and stuff that he's in. So let's get to his powers, obviously. Phineas Horton created him. The Human Torch is a near-perfect replica of a human being in his capacity for creative intelligence and self-motivated activity. His physiology allows him to eat, sleep, and otherwise engage in human activity. His body is formed of Horton cells made of long-chain plastic carbon polymers. These artificial cells made the entirety of his body and transform oxygen into energy by accumulating heat energy and using it to mimic the process of life, making each of these cells a small engine with a built-in battery. He has fire mimicry, can transform his entire body or portions of it into fiery plasma without harm to himself. Plasma is a superheated matter that exists in the atmosphere of the stars. When aflame, the Human Torch is enveloped by a low-intensity flame of low-level plasma, which ranges from 1 to 5 inches from his body. Heat and fire immunity, obviously. Heat and fire absorption, heat manipulation, fire generation and manipulation, a nova flame, which the Human Torch can do. The more modern Human Torch, blood burning, can ignite his blood once exposed to air, even from yards away. Wow. Yick. Self-propelled flight, radiation generation, superhuman strength, superhuman durability, immortality, toxic resistance, empathic link. Due to the transfusions was given, he has empathic link with Jacqueline Fallsworth and can sense her emotional status if she's in pain. Hand-to-hand combat. He was trained by Captain America. Investigations, accomplished detective. Mimicry, and accomplished mimic as well. Of course, weaknesses and energy depletion. An average rate expenditure of energy, the Torch can maintain his plasma state for about 16 hours before he's forced to revert to his solid state. And of course, fire extinguishing will do bad things to him as well. So there you go. A long, long history for an old character, and just incredible. It, like I said, blows my mind how they thought of this kind of stuff back in the 1930s when they wrote this character. Just incredible. Incredible. All right, so we're going to go over to the Marvel Unlimited app now, and we are going to look up Jim Hammond, Human Torch. And I would love to see, because I'll tell you, if it's in here, I'm going to read the one from 1939. I am absolutely going to read it if it's here, because I have never read it. Yeah, he's here. I mean, he's been in some of the exclusive books for the app here. Astonishing Avengers Infinity comic he's a part of. So he's in that. He's been in Namor comics recently from 2022 and 2023. Marvels. Oh, he was in Marvels. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you guys got to read Marvels. That book is amazing. You really have to read Marvels. Secret Empire New World from 2017. Captain America and Bucky from 2011 and 2012. The Invaders Now comic from 2010 and 2011. The Torch from 2009-2010. The Marvels Project, 2009-2010. The Torch, that goes all the way back. Yeah, that might be a whole series about him, which Human Torch Comics 70th Anniversary Special. Heroes for Hire. From 1997-1999. There's Marvels again. The Namor books from 1990-1995. Invaders from 75 to 79. Oh my God, they are here. The whole run. Oh, I'm reading these tonight. Tonight. I'm reading these tonight. The whole run is here from Marvel Mystery Comics 1939 to 1949. And he started in issue number 1. I mean, it's here. So issue number 1, and then he's also in issue 5, then issue 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh my God, I am a happy camper. I'm going to read all of these books tonight. I've got to go back and I've got to read these. I'm going to open up number 1 right now. Marvel Comics, 10 cents on the cover. October is the date. Featuring Khazar the Great, 12 pages of jungle adventure. So Khazar is in this from 1939. It says on the bottom in the title, Action, Mystery, and Adventure. And it has the Human Torch burning through a wall on the cover, like a safe wall, it looks like. And I guess a bank robber is trying to hurt him with a gun and has a grenade in his hand. This month, it says the Human Torch, the Angel, Submariner, and Masked Raider. And then it says, yep, right here, first page, the Human Torch by Carl Burgos. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. Oh man, I have to read this. So cool, guys. This is worth, because you know what? I don't know that you can go and get this in a comic book store. I mean, I'm guessing like graphic novel, maybe you might be able to, but oh my God. You want to go and just have fun, like reading a book. This is amazing. I had no idea that they dated back this far to that. Oh my God, this is insane. I can't wait to read these. I cannot wait to read these. Oh man, that's awesome. That is just, comic books are amazing, guys. I don't know how many times I need to say it. Comic books are amazing. That's why I love talking about it. You see me smiling right now. It's so cool. All right, in the shop this week that I'm going to read, Rise of Skywalker, the adaptation, which, by the way, if you've seen the movie, now listen, I know it's crap. I know it's not a great movie, but they added things to this that were from the book. And man, do I wish it was in the film, that they cut it out of there. It would have made so much more sense. All the Force ghosts that Rey hears talking to her at the end of this are shown in the book. They also show Leia and Luke's ghosts at the end are talking about Rey at the end of the movie. Like, why did they cut that out? Like, it would have made so much more sense if they left it in. But that's why I kind of like to read the adaptation sometimes, because it's stuff that was from like the actual novel of the movie instead of just getting it from the film. So I'm glad I read it now. But that's at the last issue. Eddie Brock Carnage is up to issue number 5. We got The New Champions up to issue number 6. Death of the Silver Surfer, which I am reading, by the way. That's the book I told you I'm reading, a Silver Surfer comic right now. Marvel Rivals Ignite is issue number 1. So another new Marvel Rivals book that has come out. And that is in comic stores. So that's not just exclusive to the app like the other one was. That is now a book stand where you can get that in comic stores. So if you're a Rivals player and you want to read about it, go and check it out in your local bookstore or get the app. Ultimate Black Panther up to issue number 17. One World Under Doom I am reading currently. That is up to issue number 5. So this is going to continue the story after he had that long, hard fight with Dormammu that I told you guys about. Ultimate X-Men's up to issue number 16. New Avengers, a brand new book. Number 1 issue, which looks like it's got Bucky Barnes, Black Widow, Namor, looks like Scar, and Carnage are in the team. Speaking of facsimile editions of old books, Fantastic Four facsimile edition issue number 6 is in here, and that a very old version of that. X-Men, Exceptional X-Men number 10 is out. Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1, which I'll be reading that. Magic issue number 6. Marvel United, a Pride special is out, so that's awesome. Issue number 1 of that. Deadpool Wolverine issue number 6. Giant Size Dark Phoenix issue number 1. Star Wars, just a regular monthly book, is up to issue number 2. They restarted that. It's kind of the tales of Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and Han after the Battle of Jakku. That takes place. The original Battle of Jakku. So it's before the new ones, before Force Awakens. Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. One Life at a Time, issue number 3. Spider-Girl, a new book, issue number 1 for her. Runaways, a brand new book there too, issue number 1. Phoenix is up to issue number 12. Marvel Mutts is up to issue number 17. All right. That is the Comics Corner for this week. That is a look at Jim Hammond and just an unbelievable Comics Corner this week. I hope you got as much enjoyment out of it as I did. That is absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait to go and read it. So, all right, some comic stuff going on. So first of all, I'm going to report on, this is just a quick little thing from, now this is not comics related or Marvel related, but this is a Star Wars thing. This is an update. This comes from Screen Rant and Mandoverse Updates. Lucasfilm wants to move away from Disney Plus series and instead make smaller budget films like The Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm all for that. Go right ahead. Let's see that happen. The Disney Plus series have not been good. I would tell them just to stick to the animated stuff. Stick to the animated Star Wars stuff for Disney Plus, and I think that'd be perfect. All right, this one comes from Miss Minutes on Twitter. Doctor Strange 3, Time Runs Out, will be reportedly released in July 23rd of 2027. It is right after Avengers Doomsday and before Secret Wars. Well, that makes a ton of sense. There was a planned film, Marvel film plan for 2027. In between those two films, that was not said what it was. And it does make a ton of sense that it would be this. We all saw how the last one ended. So it does make sense that it would take place. Now, that may also mean that Doctor Strange may not indeed be in Doomsday, or maybe just a post-credits. which would make sense as to some of the stuff he's been saying, because he has said before that he doesn't think he's in it. And of course, there was no cast chair for him, nor was there for Clea, who is probably going to be in that film. So it says apparently Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Tom Hiddleston's Loki, and many more will be in the cast. Very cool. It's going to happen after Secret Wars, so there might be a lot of stuff going on with those incursions that Clea mentioned, and now that's where maybe they may find all these heroes messed up in all this incursion stuff, and Doctor Strange will lead. It makes a ton of sense. So that's really cool. So there's that bit of news. And the other bit of news that I just heard today is that Daredevil is probably done after this next upcoming season 2. Charlie Cox, the actor that plays him, made a reference to it being the final season of Daredevil. So for those of you who are fans of it, and I know this past season wasn't outrageously popular. It was a little disjointed because they had a lot of the stuff that was in there they were planning on doing from the beginning that got crossed over when they fired the writing team and they brought in new people to do the rest. And it kind of felt disjointed in there. I didn't like how they got rid of that villain so quickly when he's such a cool villain to have. And I didn't like how that was done. But otherwise, I mean, look, I liked it. I enjoyed the Kingpin stuff. And but apparently this next season coming up could be the last one that we will get in that series. So, okay. Next up, I did post to my Twitter. There are pictures out there from a merchandising convention that happened overseas of Doctor Doom and of what Robert Downey Jr. should indeed end up looking like. I think he looks phenomenal. The mask looks amazing. He's got chainmail on his arms, which makes him look that much cooler. He's got the gauntlets, of course, the Iron-made gauntlets. He got the chest piece, and of course the big circular plates up on top. I think he looks amazing. And if this is how Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom is indeed going to turn out and look, which I imagine he would be because this is for merchandising. This is what he's going to look like on toys, action figures, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think it's going to be that far off. May not be exact, but I think it's pretty good. And he looks absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So they also had a light show there, which showed Doctor Doom like up in the air, showed him messing around with one of the 10 rings. So I'm sure maybe that'll be involved in it somehow with the Shang-Chi stuff. And yeah, like the light show looked awesome. Look it up on YouTube. Look up Doctor Doom light show and just check it out. It looks just crazy spectacular. It looks awesome. This one I got from the Sentient. This one says that Avengers Doomsday will end with a cliffhanger bigger than Avengers Infinity War, a post-credit scene, and an end credit scene. And the rumored runtime on the film is 2 hours and 29 minutes, 2.5 hours long. And it's going to end with a cliffhanger bigger than Avengers Infinity War. Wow. Probably all the multiverses and stuff exploding and everything like that. Yeah, I could see that. I could certainly see that happening. And then lastly, this comes from Screen Rant as well. A roundtable discussion at the Marvel Studios, including Screen Rant's Ash Krasan, 15 major reveals on the future of the MCU from Kevin Feige. And again, this is from Screen Rant. Number 1, Tony Stark and Steve Rogers will be recast. So they are going to recast those iconic roles. And I had said before on this show, I think that's just a very smart idea. I think that's a very good, smart thing to do. Number 2, the X-Men will be different than Fox. So that tells me that they're going to bring in different X-Men, which again, I think is smart as well. You know, you've had a lot of these characters come in, but I wouldn't mind seeing different teams now, bringing in some different ones, maybe not necessarily using like the Cyclops or the Jean Greys or all of them right away. They certainly will be brought back at some point, I'm sure, but maybe not having them come in right off would be a smart thing to do, I think. Deadpool and Wolverine will return, of course. I had no doubt of that. The Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts Ragnarok writer is working on Blade. Well, Blade's being worked on. Woo! Yay! I'm down with that. I loved all three of those films. I loved Ragnarok. I loved Fantastic Four, and I enjoyed Thunderbolts. So let's go. Let's go. Number 5 is no timeline for the MCU's Blade. I didn't even see that before I read the other comment. So there's no timeline for it, but they are working on it. But, well, I guess that's good in a way. At least it keeps hope alive that we'll get something. Number 6, Fantastic Four is a no homework movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's going to be coming out in Blu-ray pretty soon, which, by the way, not Marvel related, but Superman is coming out on Blu-ray on the 23rd, 2 days before my birthday. So that's coming out on Blu-ray very soon, which I'll be picking that up. And, of course, the Fantastic Four one as well. I'll be getting that as well. Has a very cool retro cartoon cover on one of them. So I'll be getting both of those. I haven't bought any DVDs in quite some time. I will definitely be getting both of those films. Also, Superman comes to HBO Max. So if you haven't seen it and you have HBO Max, it is coming to HBO Max, I think, this Friday. Next up is address the failure of Thunderbolts and Brave New World. So Kevin Feige talked about that. The comments aren't here that he made, but he addressed the failure of both of them. Doctor Doom, number 8 is Doctor Doom was thought of before Quantum Mania. So they did indeed think of Doctor Doom prior to the Kang stuff. Number 9 is Ms. Marvel and the Young Avengers are going to be teased. So there is rumors that they're hiring a new actress to play... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was saying Captain Marvel. There are rumors that Brie Larson may have packed it in with Captain Marvel, and they might be hiring a new actress for her. But Ms. Marvel and the Young Avengers will be teased. So going forward, and I'm not surprised by that either. Of all the Disney Plus shows that we got, I think honestly one of the ones that I liked the most was the Ms. Marvel series. I thought that was really cool and cleverly done. And I like her character. I like her family in it. I think it was just fun to watch. And the Young Avengers, we all knew that was coming, right? Number 10 is Brand New Day will be a proper Spider-Man story. We kind of all knew that too. We knew that they were going to do it. It was a more grounded film. We all kind of knew that was going to be the case. Number 11, there will be less MCU television. Again, it seems like Disney is going away from Star Wars television, and now they're going away from MCU television. Again, probably smart. Put lower budget stuff on those. Don't go all out and making them all crazy things, and don't make them have to be watched in order to understand the movies. And I'm sure that was probably addressed in the in the no homework films and things like that. So I'm all for that too. We don't need big, humongous. You must watch this to understand what's going on in the MCU. We don't need that anymore. Make more one-offs. Give me another Werewolf by Night type thing with Man-Thing. Do a one-off with that. Do the one-offs on Disney Plus, and I think that's a great idea. Number 12, in case you didn't already know this, Secret Wars will be an MCU reset. And again, I knew that was coming. The instant I saw the Secret Wars title, the instant I saw the and knowing what it was in comics, especially the 2015 run, I knew what we were going to get here. And I knew that this was going to be the starting over point of the MCU. So what they're talking about recasting Captain America and Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, that's going to happen after Secret War. Guaranteed. You might even get a tease as to who they are. Kevin Feige has 2 more years. Now, I don't exactly know what that means. Does that mean Kevin Feige is done in 2 years? Maybe Kevin Feige is packing it in. But it says Kevin Feige has 2 more years. So I don't exactly know what that means, but might be moving away from this in 2 years. There's a 7-year MCU plan. So that's probably going to be coming up after Secret War. Will be a 7-year plan for the MCU. And then quantity over quality became a key problem. That's when you're admitting that you're wrong. And that is indeed one of the major things that happened. They made more things over quality, and that is what could have led to their what they're in now, and less people going to see the films. I'm typing in this Kevin Feige 2-year thing. I want to see what this means. Oh, on his contract. Stated in 2025 interview with the Hollywood Reporter, he has 2 years, a little less left on his contract to Marvel Studios, placing his potential departure around the time of Avengers Secret Wars in 2027. He expressed a desire to continue making big movies, but his contract's end suggests a transition for the MCU leadership and a reboot of the universe. Okay. Well, so maybe Kevin Feige might be done. And maybe they're going to change. They're going to change up leadership. This is something I think that needs to be done with Star Wars as well. As a big Star Wars fan that I am, I was never that fond of Kathy Kennedy taking over that. Lucas handed it to her, and I was never that fond of it. And some good things have come out of it, but a lot of bad has come out of it. And so that's another place where I would love to see a change. I would like to see Dave Filoni be the one that takes over Star Wars. He is a Star Wars fan through and through. So maybe, who knows, maybe a change in leadership or Kevin Feige taking a step away might be a good thing. And maybe the Russos, who knows? The Russos have said they want to continue working with Marvel. Maybe the Russos will take over for Kevin Feige. And the Russos have done good things. So maybe it'll be a good thing for the MCU to get some new leadership. So, all right, guys. Well, that is gonna put a bow on this one. Gonna wrap it up here. But before we do, of course, we're gonna have a little lyrical challenge. We're gonna have Dazzlers lyric challenge, and I've got to come up with a song here. So, it's getting to the end of September. And we're getting into fall. It's getting a little cooler. Well, you wouldn't know it here. It's still like 80, 90 degrees. But we're getting into that time of the year. It's also kind of getting into spooky seasons, just kind of right around the corner as well. And of course Halloween, which is my favorite season and my favorite holiday of the year. So that said, we are going to give you guys a lyric, and I'm going to go. Now this one for me, and the reason I bring up the fall was because this one, for whatever reason, the band that sings it had a song that I used to listen to a lot that kind of reminded me of the fall, and it brought back some memories and stuff for me back then. But I'm going to give you a song from that particular band. This is from the 1980s, and look, this came out at a very appropriate time as well. This was very popular when something major happened in the United States to a president of the United States. This was when this song was popular. So that's even another clue. Was very nearly assassinated, and you can kind of say that this song is the name of this song could kind of even almost fit with that. As to where the person was hit with the bullet. So, but yeah. So anyway, a little bit of background on it. So all right, here we go. This is this is from. I'll even give you the year. How about that? I'll even give you the year. It was released originally in 1980, but became super popular in 1981. 1981. So here we go. Ready? Crying on the corner, waiting in the rain. I swear I will never ever wait again. You gave me your word, but words for you are lies. Darling, in my wildest dreams, I never thought I'd go, but it's time to let you know. There you go, guys. That is the Dazzler lyric challenge of the week. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? Is it going to be the same person that got it the last two? Get it for a no prize. Get it this week. You heard it right here now. Get it this week. And all right, I'm gonna give you two contests, guys. Two contests that I will award on Friday. I will award these on Friday because that's when I get paid. I will award you on Friday with your winnings. Whoever gets the Dazzlers lyric this week gets a gold pass on me. And also, if you are listening to this pod right now, I want you to head over to my YouTube channel, because I've got the YouTube video coming tomorrow afternoon with Nerf Herder. But I want you to head over to my YouTube channel, Snap Decisions on YouTube, with the brand new logo. I want you to head over there right now and drop a comment on the most recent video that is there. Drop a comment on the most recent video. Now, it won't be, well, if you do it tomorrow, yeah, you know what? It'll count tomorrow too. So if you drop it on the Nerf Herder video, that's fine. But if you're hearing this before tomorrow and before the Nerf Herder video comes out, drop it on a video that's over there now. Drop a comment over there. Let me see. What can the comment be? Drop a comment on your favorite Marvel Snap card for this month. Your favorite Marvel Snap card. Could be one that hasn't come out yet. Could be one that has already come out. What is your favorite Marvel Snap card for this month? Leave me that comment, and you can be picked to win a season pass. A season pass. Now, if you already have the season pass for this month, I will take that into consideration if you win, and I will give you a season pass for next month. Just a regular one. I'm not Rockefeller, so it'll just be the regular season pass, not the extended one. But I will award a season pass to someone I pick from the comments on my YouTube video, whether it be old, and I'll see them if you pop them on an old one, because it'll automatically come up as new comments. So if you go over there right now, after you listen to this, and you go over there and post a comment and say which card is your favorite Marvel Snap card of this month, over there, you will be entered into a drawing for a season pass. So go win a season pass. Give me some love on my YouTube channel. I would absolutely very much so appreciate it. And you know what you can also do? If you're one of those people that I mentioned earlier in the show, and you're one of those people that listen to me, even though you are not currently playing Snap, I want you to go over to my YouTube channel and comment that too. I want to hear what brings you to listen to my show. Over on the YouTube channel, and you as well then will be entered into the drawing for the season pass. So that could, that would work out very well. So please go and do that. I'd greatly appreciate you if you did. And also, if you guess the lyrics of my lyric challenge that is out on this pod, I know you're listening to the pod, so you could win a gold pass as well if you just guess the lyrics. So not only will you get the no prize, which is that one I award all the time from, good old Stan Lee came up with that. You will get an actual prize. You will get the gold pass. So there you go, guys. That is going to do it for me on this episode of Snap Decisions for this week. Thank you so much for listening wherever you may listen, whether it's Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to the audio pod. Please check out the video tomorrow with Nerf Herder on my YouTube channel. Go over there and do all that stuff to qualify for the giveaways. Hit me up with comments for the the viewer call-in segment. The viewer, I always forget the new name of that. Oh my God, I'm so bad. But yeah, give me some questions, give me some comments, give me some things like that, and have a great rest of your week in Marvel Snap. Enjoy Jim Hammond if you're going to play with the card, and if you're going to go and read the book, man. Oh God, I can't wait to do that later on tonight. So yeah, have fun with the new card and have fun with the diner if you're indeed going to go and play Deadpool's Diner. And for those of you who left the game, you may want to consider when they start this whole thing that's going to award players who've missed time in the game to come back. Maybe that would be a great time for you to come back and play again. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your week in Snap, and I will talk to you all on the next episode of Snap Decisions, which again is tomorrow night with Nerf Herder. So have a great week, guys. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another always, and hopefully I will talk to you all on the next episode. This is your Snap DJ signing off.